All right, guys, welcome. How you doing today? I'm Josh with American Gnome Productions, and this is um, I guess, a Friday night special of the Gnome Show. Um, Normally, I would be um, settling down to crash for the evening. But my schedules have been reversed, so I don't have to be until 11 tomorrow, which means that I can fuck around here a little bit before I have to, be an adult. I hope everybody's doing okay. I hope you're happy, healthy, and safe. I hope your week has been successful. No major problems, and if you have been having problems, here's hoping everything goes well for you. If you're having health issues, anything of that sort, I hope everything works out. I really do. I have some new horror stuff to look at from Mr. Manticore and the Monument Mythos series. The new season started like 3 months ago or 2 months ago, and I just kind of fucking forgot about it. A bunch of stuff happened, and life and other videos and shit like that. So we are back into some analog horror, or thereabouts, that particular sphere of things. Hitting my trusty Springfield farms. Yes. I think this is either Hawaiian Punch or Hawaiian OG or something like that. It's really good. Uh-oh. Okay, so no bad news. So, yeah, let's, observe tradition and junk. So, yeah, we're gonna, do a dab. It hasn't been a bad week. I can't complain. We are what? It's the 19th. A couple weeks I'll be going to Ocean City. And God, need a motherfucking vacation. It's not that long. It's like 4 or 5 days, but it's definitely a nice reset. And I was looking for a little gnome guy to roll around with me while I was on vacation, so I can do a couple videos for you guys while I'm out. Do some fishing, boating, eating, sitting, eating, walking, going into weird shops and bars and carnivals and all kinds of good stuff. I'm excited because I didn't have a YouTube when this was going. So holy shit, this means I need to motherfucking I gotta get a fucking hard drive so I can take it with me, so I can make videos and something to think about. I can also stream while I'm there. Then that should work out. I wonder how that's gonna. I wonder how that's gonna the logistics of that. Whether I can, what's going to be better. Well, I guess, like, I mean, I know I could stream from my phone. That wouldn't be an issue. But what about making videos from my phone? How would that work out? Or do I have to do it from the regular app? I bet you that's it. I bet you got to do it from the. I can make a short from my phone. Yeah, I'm gonna need to get a portable hard drive. That shouldn't be too much. I saw some good ones on Amazon. And I can also like do with Twitch and everything. We'll figure it out. I will be doing something from Motion City. I will be doing definitely shorts. That's for definite for damn sure. That's kind of the reason I want to get some props. But yeah, so that's what's going on in my head for vacation. Besides vacation, because I'll be actually being an adult on this vacation, trying to get to bed early and get up early so that I get the most out of my time there. Definitely going to walk the boardwalk up and back, get my exercise while I'm on the trip, so I can look at all the weird people while I'm there. Not weird, excuse me. I'm sorry, Ocean City residents. I didn't mean that. Some of you are weird, but we're all weird in our own ways. So credit where credit is due. But I do like watching the people on the boardwalk. Yeah, it's always fun. I think also Rehoboth is probably in the works too. Down the line. Yeah, this summer's not going to be too bad. I'm not mad at it. We're also going to go and knock out another bunker. I believe we still have bunker 12 to go. Bunker 12 is across the bridge. So I'm going to finish all the bunkers that are here. See what Charles says. If there's anything different about before and now, having completed all the bunkers compared to before, and see what we get. But there's an achievement for declaring all the bunkers and finding all the secret bunkers. It would be cool if there was another secret bunker that opened once you cleared all the aforementioned bunkers. That would be kind of cool. And preheat complete. Oh, and to everyone that has recently subscribed to me on YouTube, thank you. I love you guys. I really do. I hope you enjoy my content. I am obviously fairly new to this space, so I am still forming my tool set as far as like making videos, the kind of content that I do. Mainly for now, it is video games and some commentary in places. One second. Like most humans. Even if I'm not the type to seek it out. I'm like most humans, and I like a dust up every once in a while. Sometimes drama is the spice of life. And sometimes it reveals just how fucking scummy people can be to each other. Things like that I do like to bring to light. Community issues. Just issues that I think may be worth taking a look at. So I do some of that stuff. I also delve into horror of all kinds on occasion. Sporadically, I'll get in the mood where I want to, like, so we're going to do some stuff like tonight. If you don't know who this is, this is Mr. Manticore. He is most famous for his, if not famous for, his monument Mythos. Oh, thank you. And I like his stuff. It's very weird. It's very unique. Yeah, like if you haven't already seen some of his stuff, go check it out. There's a lot. But for now, we're gonna start taking a look at the third season, which I haven't seen any of yet, and I am very ready to get. Sorry, looking at my mail. Oh, okay. Alright, so it's just a bank statement. I should be the last one I get of these because I went to electronic. Okay. Yeah. I'll be right back. All right. So now that that is taken care of, so I can keep in the back here, and my shiny new license I can put up here. Alright. The new license type that I haven't seen before. It's pretty nice. So, alright, so that is taken care of. Alright. Alright, so let's check out the first one, Washington Wanderer, the Monument Mythos.
Remember me from Virginia,
Oh shit.
for America.
I'm from there. What do you mean? What do you mean for Virginia? On February 20th, 2022, the horned serpent metastructure went silent. A new song began on February 22nd, 2022.
Every time something is moved, a copy is kept on there, and copies are subjects of every transaction. Yep. That's why there's so many heat signatures. Our guy, Gothanaut C, he found a copy. It killed him.
What the fuck? Alright, so that's clearly the monument, but it is it's in some poor repair right now. What the fuck? What the fuck? Wait, what is that? What is that? Looks like a person. Who is the Washington Wanderer?
I couldn't do it. Like I've been on boats all over the place. And when I got on that crab boat, I couldn't do it.
Alright, so
Remember me.
next up is Monument Mythology. Monument Mythology. Okay, yeah. The origin of the horned serpent. Audio taken from the Open Ceiling Museum. Wait, what was that? Open. What? Open Ceiling Museum sound system. Okay.
Long ago, a universe ended and all fell into darkness. In that darkness, there were two beings, tree and serpent. They spoke for many eons until one day, serpent became bored. Something would be more interesting than nothing, she said. So serpent decided that she would create a universe. Without letting Tree know, serpent slowly shed her skin and left her branch. First, she laid world eggs. Eggs so big that one could spend their entire life on them. Then she laid God eggs. Eggs with beings to help organize the universe. Then she laid all the plant and animal eggs. Eggs which would make more trees and more serpents. Many gods, plants, and animal eggs fell on the world egg known as Earth. It was a cruel and wild place, so cruel and wild that the most powerful deity was the goddess of chaos. Her name was Entropis. However, Entropis was fair. She gave the ability to dethrone her to 4 other gods. They were Simultan, goddess of success, Orderod, goddess of time, Centimek, god of emotion, and Mordeleth, god of death. As the goddess of chaos, Entropis understood that chaos was such an uncontrollable force that she could fall victim to it at any time. And one day, she did. Without any warning, a strange bolt of lightning beheaded her in Giza. Her enormous head fell from the sky and landed in the land of serpents' children. 3 baby serpents found the head. They recognized her instantly. It is fallen Entropis. Then, the baby serpents hatched a plan. If we disguise ourselves with her head, perhaps we could trick the gods into thinking that we are Entropis. Then they could be tricked into giving us power. But once they find out that they were tricked, we would need to kill them to keep our power. How can we kill the gods? We should ask men. They like to make dangerous things. So the 3 baby serpents tucked themselves into the head of Entropis and slithered to the land of men. In the land of men, the baby serpents found 3 types of men. They found a farmer, a warrior, and an advancer. The baby serpents began their performance. I am Entropis, goddess of chaos. The other gods have gone mad. We need to destroy them before they hurt the land of men. In awe of Entropis's head, the 3 types of men quickly went to work on a weapon. They used a special glass to harness a strange lightning, similar similar to the very lightning which had killed Entropis herself. They
Oh, wow.
surrounded the charged glass with a strong stone carved into the shape of a handsome hero. When the men finished the weapon, they showed it to Entropis's head. Behold, Pyrasma, the destroyer of gods. The baby serpents thanked the men and took Pyrasma to meet the gods. Eventually, the gods found Entropis's head. We have been so worried. Are you okay? I am hurt, but I was treated well in the land of men. They even gave me a gift. Let us restore your powers first. With that, the three baby serpents became very powerful. Thank you. Now meet Pyrasma. And at the speed of light, Pyrasma burned the gods to death. The three powerful baby serpents thanked Pyrasma and gave the gift of life to all statues in the land of men. After terrorizing their enemies in the animal kingdom for eons, the three baby serpents decided that it would be best to grow themselves more, since they wanted to look older. Each baby serpent went to a different world egg to mature. But one world egg was too hot and the baby died. Another world egg was too cold and that baby froze. The only baby that survived continues to grow inside Earth herself, where heat and cold are in perfect harmony.
Okay. Okay. So there is a world serpent inside. Okay. Alright. So let's look at. So there's a world serpent inside the earth. Still. So not only that, but the baby serpents brought all the statues on Earth to life, and that's why all the monuments have been getting up and walking around. But that's a weird, because okay, all right. So yeah. So all the monuments get up and walk around when struck by the weird lightning. I think so. Something like that. There's a lot going on in this one. The other two seasons as well. Let's see what this is. And this is called Angel Ashes. Or Angel Ashes. Angel Ashes.
Everyone is free now. We do not feel free. You are one of us. You have your chance. If you but need. All I have is a suggestion for you, Angel. Divide yourself until you no longer can. Some of your particles of trickle burn away through the fabric of time in every direction. Your soul division contains the past, present, and future. Perhaps even
want to make sure we're going in order that they present. Okay, yeah. So this one. Ah.
Either that or city water, one of the two.
No idea what I'm looking at. Oh, there it is. There it is. The thing we saw. Yeah, the angel approaches freedom, or approaches freedom. Future angels' ashes slip through time. Shifting neurons, past angel. Oh shit. Freedom is a monument. Alright, sir. That was violent and I'm sure there was probably something in that too. So after Angel. Now this is Musk Mars. Yeah! Yeah, Jim Brown died today. That shit sucks, man. Is that? It's Elon Musk on Mars. Musk steps on Mars. Musk Mars mine, the largest American mine. Martian glass.
On this one right into Russia. Yep. Well, you're getting F-16. That's great.
Ah, fuck you, man. God damn it. What the fuck, man? Let's make some ice caps. We do not know Mars before. After, uh-oh. those same things. The monuments are fucking a lot larger than they go way deep in the ground. Oh shit. That does not look friendly. The Martian serpent exits the glass. I thought the Martian serpent was dead, though. Falling towards Earth. Yep, okay. So it's a corpse. It's the corpse of the one of the baby serpents that's now falling towards Earth, or is it alive somehow? Let's see what next one is. Golden Gate Girl. Golden Gate Girl. Uh-oh. You've been warned.
Hello? Hello?
You got the wrong number.
Who is this?
Howard. Howard Milrose.
Hi, Howard. What are you doing?
Well, looking out at the bay.
Oh, you're the place by the water. You're lucky.
It is beautiful.
It really is. You up here is beautiful.
This is fairly creepy.
What's your name?
You can call me Eunice, Howard. You have such a mysterious voice.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So mysterious. Just wraps me up like a dark blanket. You can use a blanket now.
How are you in the area?
Oh, I'm in the area. I'm on top of the world. Look to the bridge.
Oh, this is the Monument Walker.
You've been through the bridge.
The Washington Walker. Something like that.
Say my name when you're lonely. You make me sound so mysterious.
Okay.
Call me whenever something exciting happens. I promise I'll listen in Wonderland.
Eunice, are you okay?
Thanks for talking to me, Howard. Call me later.
Jeez. So I remember something from the first or second season where the one girl was trapped in the one copy of her was trapped in Wonderland while the other one it's something there's like I said, there's a lot going on here. And it's been a while since I watched all this stuff.
Hello? Monty, I need your help. Jimmy, it's not you. Listen, I can't run anymore. I just can't. Nobody likes me anymore. Everybody wants to run me over in the street now. I'm just a dirty dog. Jimmy, it's the leg. Why don't you hit the head? Listen to me, you don't understand. I can't run. What do you want? I want you to run. Oh, everyone loves you, Monty. Everyone loves you. Jimmy, that's just plain silly. You're already a better president than I'll ever be.
Yeah, remember in this universe, James Dean is the president, and there's some weird, nefarious shit going on.
I am Montgomery Clift.
Oh wow, I'm sure I fucking missed that. That's what happens when damn it. That's what happens when I fucking lose track of shit like this. Alright. Dean Devil.
The FBI is offering a reward of up to $1 million for information leading directly to the arrest of alleged murderer Howard Melrose. The 18-year-old is the latest addition to the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives list. In 1968, Melrose was contacted by Eunice Dean, Vice President James Dean's older sister. During the call, Melrose verbally assaulted and threatened Eunice, after which she leapt off the Golden Gate Bridge. Melrose was caught on camera shortly before leaving San Francisco. Special Agent Rod Slowing.
Oh shit.
Howard is dangerous. His voice alone can kill a man.
What the fuck?
Never answer a call from Howard Melrose. Keep your children far away from that telephone.
If you have tips about Melrose's whereabouts, dial 1-800 Dean Deliverance.
We want to keep Howard Melrose away from every telephone in America.
So, is this true, or is it just because he knows something? Because, according to the conversation we had, that was like, well, we got the warning, like, you know, that was like, I don't even know if, you know, like, it was, you know what it says. I don't even want to, you know, want to keep things relatively clean. But, you know, on the surface, he didn't have anything to do with it, but, I mean, that's terrifying if somebody has the like the effect of like that kind of effect. That's crazy. It's terrifying.
At 0900, we intercepted a call from Howard's home. I led a team of agents into his house 9 minutes later. He had packed his bags and left. At 0400, we intercepted a call from the Hollywood Rockefeller Hotel. I led a team of agents into the building 18 minutes later. He had evaded the room with his belongings. He had attempted to redact and shred copies of an airplane ticket. Off the record, Mr. Vice President, I know that you're upset, but listen to me. Whatever I say next, promise me you'll stay put. No more jokes about taking Air Force 2 for a one-man kill assignment. I'm trusting you, Mr. Dean. We currently have eyes on Howard Melrose. He's about to leave LAX on a flight to DC. We can wait for him there. Promise me that. Mr. Vice President, are you there?
Oh shit, he is already gone. Dean Devil is on the march. Oh shit, so that's Dean right there. Oh wow. Alrighty. Shit. Back to square one. All right. So next up, Cathonaut C. Cathonaut. It's a hard word to say. Cathonaut. Wait, what? In the Martian Serpent.
Before the sun comes up.
Determine the rate of American Wonderland Syndrome, AWS, in the Martian Serpent metastructure. Cathonaut C, going into a decapsule. That looks like deep sea gear mixed with like flight gear.
I have to be getting ready right now. What I did tell them was, the young kid that sometimes doesn't come in.
Racing Cathonaut capsule now. USS George Washington. So this is the Martian Wonderland, and the Wonderland that we see on Earth. The white version of this is the Earth Serpent, I guess. There's a child here too. Oh, is that the one that was stuck in there before? C finds the child. Cathonaut C.
Remember me.
So Cathonaut is what they're called. Yeah, that's the. Yeah. Those are. I think they're connected to the first or second season. Let's see. Clift Chaos.
2 weeks following the disappearance of James Dean, the National Park Service suspended all ferry services to Liberty Island, and over the next 48 hours, a massive platform was constructed at the base of the Statue of Liberty. Due to the National Park Service's unwillingness to disclose the purpose of the platform and the reluctance of Washington politicians to discuss its costs, news of the mysterious structure's appearance quickly spread across the country. What was the platform? Why was it built so close to the Statue of Liberty? All these and more were questions frequently asked in American neighborhoods and newspapers. Famous writers like Charles Beaumont and Rod Serling wrote their theories in exciting opinion pieces, while scientists like Hugh Everett and J. Robert Oppenheimer illustrated their own speculations in intricately detailed diagrams. But all Americans, civilians and celebrities alike, were equally in the dark. Nobody knew why there was a massive platform on Liberty Island. Shortly after the cement of the platform had visibly dried, workers surrounded the structure with robust titanium fencing, inside of which thousands of chairs were installed, each bolted deep into the photographs of the chairs on Liberty Island were quickly printed on front pages around the country. Photographs of the platform's various angles were televised after news broadcasts to give audience members time to scrutinize over visual details. Many of these hastily edited slideshows were looped for an additional 15 minutes to allow family units to gather in living rooms and analyze the platform as closely as possible.
That's just so creepy.
The broadcasts, though strange and unprecedented, were well received for uniting families in the evenings. On the third morning after the platform's completion...
So is it sort of like a ritual sacrifice? Like, even though they're not there because they're watching and they're taking in everything, that they're still part of it? I don't know.
Workers were seen lining the entire island with large explosives. Every acre of land around the Statue of Liberty and the platform's metal fences was covered in an intricate web of electrical wires wrapped around bundles of dynamite. The sight greatly concerned New Yorkers.
He's so fucking loud,
Due to
man.
unsubstantiated rumors of an impending atomic bomb test on Liberty Island, roadways became violently congested with traffic and airports were suddenly packed with newly registered passengers. Many civilians wanted to leave the East Coast in order to avoid any potential shockwaves produced by the Liberty Island explosive. While law enforcement and regional government officials urged the public to remain calm and at home, no concrete reasoning was ever provided. Ambiguous explanations from many mayors and governors only worsened the widespread anxieties. Numbers of missing children dramatically increased in the afternoon as groups of siblings refused to stay put with parents at home and decided instead to seek shelter out west. Cats, dogs, and other domestic animals ran freely through city streets, released by their owners in an attempt to spare their lives. Dog, cat, and snake attacks became common in all major cities. In New York City, Chicago, Los Angeles, and Miami, curfews were dispatched to collect loose pets. 1 in every 5 servicemen sustained injuries from agitated animals. Even the incumbent president was attacked by a dog which had passed through the White House fence. Rushed to the Walt Disney Hospital to treat injuries, the president remained indoors for the rest of the day. In the evening, she requested a full explanation be provided by a representative of the National Park Service on live television. There would be no response, and an hour later, at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, the explosives on Liberty Island detonated. The resulting shockwave caused the Statue of Liberty to visibly totter. Fires erupted on all trees in the area. Since the fencing and chairs were bolted into the ground, the platform remained completely unscathed. However, the surrounding inferno released massive clouds of ash into the sky. Passing ships and aircrafts recorded the hellish scene on film. Ferry services were reopened by the National Park Service to allow firefighters access to the flames. By 7 p.m., all plant life had been decimated, and the Statue of Liberty had become even more oxidized from being exposed to high temperatures. A nuclear attack on Liberty? Construction gone wrong? Headlines provided no more clarification than your next-door neighbor. Firefighters extinguished the fires by 9 p.m. and reported no American fatalities. At midnight, cameras captured the activation of a spotlight on the Liberty platform. The bright white circle of light remained unoccupied for several minutes
Before what?
After Clift spoke, James Dean, alive and well,
again, fools. My disappointment is vast. I had to save a goddamn teenager from being murdered by the vice president. Yet you still support Mr. Dean. Grief makes monsters, and monsters stay in power. Yet you still see me as the monster. Why don't you look in the mirror sometime? If I continue to exist, I will continue to be disappointed. If I let you exist, you will continue to be a disappointment. How about we make a simple deal, you fools? I will leave your universe rest in an act of true kindness. That would take a goddamn miracle.
Alrighty. It's off to you, sir.
Exactly. And acted just like us.
Arnold's on alone. Yeah, so we remember that from last season. This tree, when it bent over, it made a portal and pulled like things through from one side or the other. And she was pulled in, and then I think a shade of her was pulled out or something like that, or a version or something like that, and he was pulled out. Yeah, I remember this. That sucks. Hell yeah, man. Arnoldson alone. Hold on. I'm gonna make sure to all of these are really good. And the last one here on this one is Freedom Forever. This is the one that apparently I think this is the one that killed the angel. I should have stayed a writer. The Death of President Dean. A true story by Rod Serling, United States of America, Department of Technology. Oh wow. It's Arnoldson. Yeah, the ones the father and the son, or the father and the daughter that are inside the statue, the one that he climbed in to put himself into, and then she joined him, and they became the thing, and they had the sword, and they would cut the forest and everything, and they were doing all that. Yeah, that's freedom. And okay, all right, I see where we're at. That's pretty cool. A more perfect union. So is Arnoldson coming from his torment into our world and protecting everything from freedom, and then freedom realizes that there's a better way, and they poof into this more perfect union, I guess. Oh, and they're going to fight the Serpent of Mars, I guess? Or meet the Serpent of Mars? Lauren Arnoldson and Mr. Squirrel present the new constellation known as Manticore. You must call me Mr. Manticore. What are you made of? Good people. The men. Ian Thomas. Freedom. Everett. Together. Goodbye, Cathonaut A. Yeah, that was good.
I am Montgomery Clift, and I approve this message.
Okay, yeah, if you haven't seen like season 2, it's fucking bonkers. Check that shit out. Yeah, there's all kinds of fucking shit going down in that one. And then there's this one, which is just they're all of the ones, they're all bonkers. It's great. And then there's this one, and I don't know if y'all are familiar with this one, but it's one of my favorite ones. It's been done by a couple different people, but I haven't seen Curious Archives version of it. So, yeah, we're going to look at this, but I'm going to go smoke a cigarette real quick. So, hang tight, I'll be right back. One second. Actually, I won't fuck a cigarette. Let's continue.
If an underground organism of unfathomable size were unearthed in the United States, you might expect widespread panic at the horrifying discovery,
That's an interesting thought experiment. Before we continue, let's do that. Let's consider for a moment. So, if like a giant organism, let's say, think in your mind of a sarlacc pit, but of a much more generally non-threatening than a sarlacc pit. Much bigger too. I think its magnitude's larger than a sarlacc pit. But you get the general shape and contour of the mystery flesh pit. It's a giant organism, and let's see. Now, if it's not immediately a threat, I can see like not being general like absolute panic. But I can also see quite a lot of nasty things coming up around like this. I can see cults coming up around this. I can see insidious scientific experiments, geological experiments. Like just so many bad things that can go down with this kind of organism being discovered, like smack dab in the middle of the fucking country somewhere. I mean, humans, we are a violent, vicious, fucking awful, wanting every bad thing that we shouldn't have for ourselves, wanting too much for ourselves, all the bad stuff. But we're also highly ingenuitive and excuse me. Excuse me. Pardon me. We're a very industrious people, or species, and we would do something weird with it. I know that's for sure. And honestly, that's what this is about. So, in short, I honestly, I don't think I see it quite going where they went with it in this universe, but we're sick fucks, so like, yeah, sure, like, let's check it out.
Expect the US government to block off the cosmic terror from civilians. You might not expect the entity to be turned into a theme park marketed towards all ages. But that's what happened with the thankfully fictional Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. The name given to a creature of indeterminate size and origin that was nonetheless turned into a tourist attraction.
Yeah, so like I said, Sarlacc pit. I mean, I think it's probably bigger than a Sarlacc pit. Like, I think Sarlacc pit would probably be like that right there. But then again, that is, I don't know. Maybe they are generally the same size. Anybody in the comments that sees this, and you know, let me know if this would generally be about the size of a Sarlacc pit, you know, once you've taken in all the data.
Mystery Flesh Pit is an ongoing multimedia narrative project by creator Trevor Roberts, who you can follow and support in the links below. The story of the pit is told through flyers, advertisements, and posters that rebrand the horrifying life form as a relaxing family.
Alright, so that's a nice, cool ass 3D model of the mystery flesh pit organism in its entirety. And again, probably a fairly similar structure to a Sarlacc pit. It's what it reminded me of immediately the first time I saw it. So, yeah.
Getaway. And it's this upbeat language around something so blatantly terrifying that makes the Mystery Flesh Pit project so amusing and so unsettling. Just the sort of thing to cover at this spooky time of year. But since venturing into the darkness of an unknown organism is a little frightening to do on one's own, Edge will be joining me for this entry. He makes great content about prehistoric life, unique modern animals, and bizarre cryptids, so he's just the person to help investigate this mysterious organism. Now let's begin our descent.
Unearthed accidentally in the early 1970s, the Mystery Flesh Pit, also known as the Permian Basin superorganism, is located in West Texas. Discovered by oil workers, the first tours of the pit were given by James Jackson, a small-time oil man and showman. The Mystery Flesh Pit was then further studied and reinforced by Anodyne Inc., a deep mining corporation who opened the park as a tourist attraction in 1976, with assurances it was perfectly safe. We know how corporations are. In selling the park to the public, Anodyne downplayed the horrifying nature of the pit itself, creating a friendly cartoon mascot, Caver Coop, who assured families the pit was nothing to be afraid of. The attraction was later absorbed into the
Can you imagine pulling up to a fucking gate like that? Let's go imagine being digested by a Permian Basin organism, everyone. This will be a great family vacation.
National park system in the early 1980s, which led to the Permian Basin superorganism becoming further normalized. Surprising absolutely no one, thousands of tourists regularly exploring the inside of an unknown organism would eventually prove to be a bad idea, as the infamous 2007 disaster would prove. But that's a story we'll get to later.
For now, let's try to piece together the material the author has given us.
So here's the upper portion of it. So I guess that's where air comes in. And then this is the upper expanse of the organism.
To try and understand the pit's biology.
There we go.
Like so many aspects of the pit, the more visceral reality of the organism was glossed over with clinical language by the professionals who first studied it. Since an organism of this size defied conventional science, numerous new disciplines were founded to help understand it. Geobiology is the term used for how the organism interacts with its environment. Looking at this early map, you can see the life form possesses musculoskeletal, nervous, limbic, and vascular systems similar to traditional life, at least on the top layers. This cross-section of the pit, however, might just be a small fragment of a larger, more complex organism. How large? Data collected from a series of boreholes, shown in this diagram, suggests that in some places the organism extends over 30 kilometers below the Earth's surface. For reference, the Marianas Trench is only 11 kilometers deep. Indeed, the author suggests that the pit may well extend into the Earth's mantle, with some of the imaginary scientists.
See, so definitely as big or larger than Sarlacc.
Implying that
I have read some literature on Sarlacc pits. I have seen a video or two on them. So I know they're big motherfuckers, but I don't remember the details, and I'm still not sure if this thing is comparable or larger, but like I want to say larger if it goes all the way to the fucking mantle of the Earth. That's fucking huge.
That the organism may be native to the interior of the planet, having merely surfaced to the upper tectonic plates for unknown reasons. And despite public assurances to the contrary, there's evidence that people working behind the scenes long understood the superorganism to be dangerous. At one point in this fictional alternate history, the US government launched an investigation into the feasibility of using nuclear weapons to kill the life form.
Oh, wow.
Although only the cover of this report was ever photographed, the conclusion seemed to be a resounding no. The Permian Basin superorganism so potentially catastrophic? The answers may lie deeper within.
In the early days of the pit, a mission called Project Freefall was planned to chart the organism to a greater depth than ever before. A joint effort between the US government and Russian scientists, the expedition involved a 6-person team lowered into the pit via specialized vehicle. Over a period of 2
basically
weeks,
a plumb
the pod
bob.
descended down the dark, wet, scooshy pit, reaching regions that had never been explored before. At last, the probe drilled through a dense layer of lower cartilage and entered an unknown region of blue tissue. A single-person pod was lowered into this opening. The Russian pilot described a reflective and prismatic environment, of which we only have a single image from this onboard computer. When the pod was raised back to the surface, it was heavily damaged, and the pilot was missing. The researchers concluded an attack from an unknown organism was the likely cause. Project Freefall makes it clear that the organic section of the mystery flesh pit is merely a portion of the life form, and other regions are unlike anything in the natural world. It also made it clear people aren't alone in the pit.
Even above the deeper layers,
Yeah.
which weren't available to the public, hostile wildlife was frequently encountered. Large crustacean-like organisms were spotted as early as the first explorations, which this early sketch shows. In typical mystery flesh pit fashion, however, the corporate higher-ups turned these terrifying life forms into...
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, in the real world, I feel like there would be people down there hunting everything they can get their hands on. Like, people looking to make videos and to be famous, and explorers looking to, like, document new life. It's, oh my god. And the military would be this would not be civilian run by any stretch of the imagination. That's the only thing that I like, like, really weirds me out about this, is that it's mostly, so if not all, civilian run or corporation run. Like, this is a whole new fucking organism. You think this wouldn't be government run? Come on. And I just like, there are some things that, in our world, I don't think would fly, or they would be very different, in my opinion.
Part of the marketing, wildlife safety brochures were handed out to visitors, explaining the exciting anatomical fauna that dwelled in the pit, and how to avoid getting eaten. At the foundation of the pit's ecosystem, playing a role similar to bacteria in the bodies of regular-sized animals, were macrobacteria. Unlike regular bacteria you can only spot under a microscope, macrobacteria were multicellular Goliaths that could reach lengths of 12 feet or 4 meters across. This educational chart produced by the Park Services showcases the various types of macrobacteria and the other bizarre species that dwell in this imaginary Permian Basin superorganism. We won't be able to cover them all, but one notable species is the mesogaleal tridecapod, an insect-like organism that gets its name from its 13 legs.
Oh my
As this
god.
faded Wild About Nature infographic will tell you. These pseudovertebrates are almost the size of humans and aren't technically vampires, as this guide will assure you, although they do feed off the pit and look like something out of my nightmares. In other areas of the pit, there were sightings of other, more dangerous species, and even rumors of human-like life forms called merrowfolk, which Anodyne Inc. strongly denied. They maintained the Mystery Flesh Pit was just like any other national park, and anyone who mysteriously vanished just didn't read the brochure carefully enough.
I don't remember learning about merrowfolk. That's fucking creepy.
With the Permian Basin superorganism so hostile to human life, excavating it was a challenge.
Yes, give me one of those.
A challenge that began with finding people to staff
Or at the very least one of
As
those.
this oddly hilarious park ranger recruitment bulletin suggests, however, with the right benefits and incentives, Anodyne Inc. was in fact able to find people willing to enlist in the Mystery Flesh Pit Park Ranger program. What kinds of jobs did this entail?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, sure, like, you find people that would want to go, like, like, I'm not very sure that I wouldn't want to go. Like, it's, look, man, like, that's some fucking cool shit. I don't know. I might be one of those dumbasses with fucking trying to make videos, going and be like, yo, I've heard about these merrowfolk, and I am trying to fucking see if they're real. And I've hired a guide. He's a little bit shady, but he says he's local, and he's heard about these people too, but he's not doing it for anything less than like $6,000 to just take me in the direction that I want to go. Which leads me to believe that this is highly dangerous. So, we managed to smuggle a couple of items in with us, and we should be okay if we meet anything. Kevin, you pack those. You pack. Yeah, man. Yeah, I got it. We pack. We're good. We're ready to go. All right, guys. See, I can totally see it. Like, you know, like I don't know. I would hope that I'm not that stupid, but I can see it happening very easily and frequently, I might add.
Well, why not become a park trail engineer? This anxiety-inducing position.
See, I'm not sure I could do that. Like, literally. Oh, wow. So basically they literally have jaws of life to fucking keep you from to let you through to a new section, and they've got jack systems to fucking allow you to do what you're supposed to do. Holy shit. Impact driver for erecting scent frames. Multi-tool contains powerful laser for carving new trails in existing fleshscape. It also acts as a deterrent to territorial macrobacteria. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Smooth neoprene helmet and visor. Compact stent frames are set up by trail engines. They descend into. Oh, okay. So these stay in place, and you have air packs. Oh, okay. Well, still don't think I could do that, but maybe. I don't know. Right amount of money, right incentives. Who knows? That is kind of cool looking fucking gun right there. I'm sorry, multi-tool.
Involved using compact stent frames and other highly specialized tools to create new pathways within the pit.
Nice.
To be a park trail engineer.
Practical and psychological purposes. Yeah, buddy, man, we're right here. We can still hear you, bud.
Required.
Pant cuffs and boots are interchangeable due to the frequent effects of gastric enzymes on fabric layers.
Extensive knowledge of caving, geology, and macrobiology, as attacks from local wildlife were apparently common. For personal protection, the laser scope anatomical environmental multi-tool was the most reliable defense. Intended to blast new paths within the mystery flesh pit, this portable tool, an example of which is on display here, was frequently used to ward off aggressive life forms. To more safely traverse the pit.
That's fucking cool. Look at that, motherfucker. Yeah. See, this might get me down there. This kind of shit. Yeah. Vehicle's power plant, an 8-cylinder inline diesel engine drives the IAV via complex drivetrain linkage, which allows for full rotation in 3 dimensions. Holy shit. So basically it can twist and turn and everything. Such flexibility necessary for navigating the dynamic and challenging internal anatomy of the mystery flesh pit. Low profile entry doors swing forward and out to prevent trapping occupants in the event that the IAV is crushed from above and below by peristaltic action. So the like your guts, like the writhing, crushing shit, like Snake almost. Rigid structural chassis withstands immense crushing force of certain areas within the flesh pit. An overall lozenge form factor was necessary to allow the IAV to easily traverse the interior anatomy of the pit. Mechanical joints and moving parts are encased in flexible shrouds to prevent buildup of viscera in vital clearance areas of the vehicle. That's pretty cool. Sensor canisters house suites of X-ray, LiDAR, and radar instruments for navigation, which is I can see from there.
Interior, Anodyne Inc. developed the Internal Anatomy Vehicle, or IAV.
That is cool.
A vehicle that could traverse the slickest and steepest of routes. Its maneuverability came in part from a rotating mechanical joint that connected the front of the vehicle to the midsection. As tourism increased, the larger Ventarial Environment Excursion Vehicle was developed, which we know from schematics used a set of twin counter-oriented screws for propulsion. These safari vessels could seat up to 8 park guests and take them deep into the pits with supposed safety.
Supposed being the
Supposed.
key word here, as a mock-up of an incident report tells us that vehicles were bent, melted, crushed, dented, or dissolved at least on some occasions. Maybe traversing the unknown depths of a giant organism isn't a good idea after all. Well, as Caver Dave might say, that's not the right attitude for exploring the Funderground. For adventurous park guests, the opportunity of camping on natural, unreinforced trails was possible with the interventarial tent, shown here in
Oh,
this
that's fucking
diagram.
cool.
Unlike traditional tents, this collapsible, multi-sided device could endure the crushing shifts and deadly wildlife of the pit while campers slept, at least most of the time. When things went wrong, emergency trail phones were one way to reach the park staff. Called lighthouses by seasoned hikers, these subterranean telecommunication devices were highly advanced for the 1970s. And indeed, the study of the Permian Basin superorganism led to numerous technological breakthroughs.
I would imagine so, yeah.
One of many lucrative results from the development of the fictional pit were tremendous advances in the field of computer science. In the early 1980s, Anodyne began to release computers made of nervous tissue taken from the Permian Basin superorganism.
Oh, that's
With 4
creepy.
terabytes of organic tissue storage memory, these machines were extremely popular. An even more well-known product exported from the Mystery Flesh Pit was amniotic ballast, a miraculous fluid from deep within the pit, branded as Vita Salve in advertisement.
So they may cover it here, maybe not, but they're while the park was open, they used to have large sections that were like hot springs, but they were filled with this stuff, and people would get giggity in there.
Such as this one. The product could
It was 21 and over, obviously.
cure various illnesses and was almost certainly safe to use. But the most notable service.
In fact, there's literature like detailing. So, let's see here. The desert traditional bathing ground. That's creepy. Mythos, attractive, pump the surface, scratching. Yeah, so there are baths that you can go to, and they have ones that are for adults only, in addition to the main ones for families and whatnot. Like Lover's Squeeze and stuff like that.
Anodyne offered was access to the Mystery Flesh Pit itself. Aside from hiking, tourists paid for access to the amniotic thermal springs. The springs had strong effects on visitors who bathed in them, including making their skin healthier and giving them a euphoric sensation, as long as they could take their mind off the fact they were bathing in an unknown liquid. The true focus of the pit for most visitors.
Look at this. This is so this was like set up like in like the main cavity of the fucking organism. Look, man, like I said, we're fucking industrious motherfuckers, aren't we? Like I said, I feel like this would have been. I feel like before this was ever, at least before this was ever a park, it was a research facility first. Yeah, there's a Burger King in there. I mean, it's nice. Everything keeping it together. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I can see all this happening.
Visitors, however, was the lower visitor center, a gateway into the deep that took 8 years to construct, with restrooms, a gift shop, and even restaurants. The lower visitor center was the hub of the national park. Was it a good idea to suspend a several-ton building on steel cables in the middle of the pit? Anodyne Inc. soon found out.
Huh.
At last, we've come to the 2007 disaster and all that follows. On July 4th, 2007, due to Anodyne's negligence, something as simple as heavy rain and a faulty water pump caused a section of the pit to flood to unsafe levels. The result was a catastrophe most had never imagined. The Permian Basin superorganism began to wake up. Imagine waking up from a long nap to find hundreds of tiny bugs had built a miniature hotel in your throat. You'd be pretty mad. At 9:52 p.m., the lifeform began a choking response due to the flooding, causing the entire lower visitor center to be crushed and swallowed deeper into its gullet.
Yeah.
But this was just the beginning. According to an incident report, the creature then started to surface, with people living all around West Texas witnessing limbs of the superorganism rising from the ground, the scale of which is captured in this impressionistic painting from a survivor. And then, the creature returned to its slumber, likely lulled back to sleep by a mysterious contingency measure redacted from the incident report. In the wake of the disaster, Anodyne Inc. was dissolved, and the park was finally closed to the public, with people perhaps finally realizing that hiking inside a giant creature isn't such a good idea after all. The author imagines that...
See, that's why I get the feeling that it's generally not a sarlacc pit, because it definitely had like appendages and everything, and it was literally getting ready to get up and start doing some major shit before so the contingency plans that they were talking about are these crystal formations that the natives of the area had long known about. Apparently they were sort of damaged, and this was only an emergency type thing, and it actually worked this time. But I think it was either damaged or destroyed in during this one, because of all of the breakage that went down, the catastrophe and everything.
But the region around the pit has now become a ghost town, but behind fences, some are still monitoring it. In the present of this alternate timeline, the Permian Basin superorganism is now kept under constant surveillance. But who knows when it might awaken once more. There's a lot more lurking in the pit you can read about online, and you can follow and support Trevor Roberts by using the links in the description below, or by purchasing something from the Mystery Flesh Pit gift shop. And special thanks to Edge for helping me archive this mysterious organism.
I've been Destin from the channel Edge. I cover all sorts of topics in natural history, whether it's the extinct beasts of times long since past, the bizarre and sticky world of the living, or the extraordinary, dark places our minds go to in the supernatural or cryptozoological. If you like Curious Archive, Benji Thomas, or Trey the Explainer, you'll enjoy me and my content as well. Follow the links to my channel in the description and comment section below.
And as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this entry, please lend your support, and like, subscribe, and hit the notification icon to stay up to date on all things curious. See you in the next video.
Oh, baby. All right. Oh. And this one, because I'm playing Atomic Heart right now. I almost forgot about this one. You all know him. You all love him. Mr. Kyle Hill. Atomic Heart's world-changing technology explained. We've already been through the first part, or at least the rush ending of Atomic Heart. Hopefully, I don't see anything I don't want to see. But here we go.
An alternative past where this technology... Imagine an alternative past where this technology, fusion, became reality. A past where science and innovation created a robot-enabled utopia, free from menial labor and filled with the pursuit of knowledge and, beauty.
Sorry. Get some
this never seems to play out too well in the video games that envision it, but it is fun to think about how grand advances in technology could change all of our lives. So,
oh, no, he heard me.
Cold fusion, and how would it change everything?
Now entering the facility.
The alternative past of Atomic Heart begins with
We're going to play this in a little bit.
polymer, a plastic electric storage device. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this stuff would really be in life, but it has to do with silicon and heavy water, a fusion fuel. Now, it's polymer that then allows fictional Soviet scientists to take arguably the game's biggest technological leap, creating cold fusion. And you know what? This cold fusion bringing about the glorious robot revolution in-game makes sense.
Wait, you haven't been talking to those robot twins, have you?
No. I haven't been. No one's even noticed those characters. Fusion is the holy grail of power production. The main reason is simple. Outside of antimatter annihilation, fusion is the most energy-dense process there is, thanks to direct mass-to-energy conversion. For example, a single kilogram of fusion fuel would release the same energy as 10 million kilograms of coal. And fusion fuel, heavy water or hydrogen with extra neutrons, is found naturally in seawater, meaning that there's more or less an unlimited supply of it. Fusion is also clean. It doesn't produce any greenhouse gases or significant nuclear waste. Yeah, no.
Tangent to what we were just watching, this is another thing that where I can see humanity either blossoming into the benign space, sea, and quantum faring species that I would like us to be, or we just learn to make more horrific weapons with unlimited power, which is equally possible. So take a deep breath.
Not having like a face doesn't really matter to me. I think the whole chrome look is actually kind of hot. Hot fusion is what everyone normally means when they talk about fusion. Nuclear forces at nuclear scales are so unimaginably strong that it normally takes star-like conditions to force even light nuclei like hydrogen and helium together into a different element. But this is not the kind of fusion that Soviet scientists in Atomic Heart are talking about. No, they're talking about fusion without star-like temperatures. In fact, fusion at the temperature you're at right now. Room temperature.
Ooh.
Now, if that sounds unbelievable,
right.
You're not alone. Because it turns out, experiments with cold fusion are some of the most infamous experiments in the history of science.
Why are these AI liking all your Instagram posts now?
I don't know, maybe they just think I'm a cool guy. I can't control what they do with their shiny hands. Today's video is sponsored by Surfshark. I'm an award-winning science educator and Thor, if you squint.
Yeah, and I'm one of the Fellowship of the Ring, if you squint as well.
Kyle Hill. You know, I research a lot of weird stuff online here at the facility of how to reconstruct a zombie virus, whether or not zombies actually have souls. I need a real shark behind me while I surf. The sponsor of today's episode, Surfshark. Surfshark is a premium virtual private network service.
Hope everybody's enjoying themselves tonight. I hope I'm bringing you some quality entertainment from a couple different sources around the web tonight.
Surfshark does not monitor, track, or store what you do online. That means no connection or activity logs. And unlike other premium VPNs, Surfshark now has thousands
I'm Josh
of
with
servers
American
in
Gnome
over
Productions, by
100
the way.
countries. Be
This is the
secure
Gnome
on
Show.
the majority of the Earth's surface. Use the offer code KYLE for 83% off from now until the end of the year and 3 extra months free. You're welcome. There's a money-back guarantee, and you get an unlimited number of devices on just one account. While you're surfing, protect your turf. Surfshark. All the way back in the 1920s, scientists Frederick Paneth and Kurt Peters discovered that the element palladium could absorb hydrogen. Specifically, powdered palladium could absorb a lot of hydrogen gas, 900 times its own volume, which would put this hydrogen at thousands of times atmospheric pressure. Because of this chemical fact, Paneth and Peters believed that by simply loading palladium rods with enough hydrogen in the form of deuterium, the pressures alone could cause fusion at room temperature, cold fusion. When they detected the fusion product helium in their experiments, they were apparently successful. However, Paneth and Peters later retracted their claims when they realized that they were measuring background helium in the air and not from nuclear catalysis. A few years after Paneth and Peters, Swedish scientist John Tandberg used the experimental setup you see now, electrolysis of heavy water with palladium electrodes, to try and get electricity to force even more deuterium into the metal, thereby increasing the pressures and increasing the likelihood of fusion. In 1927, Tandberg reported he successfully fused hydrogen into helium and applied for a patent. He couldn't explain why the fusion occurred, he just claimed that it did. His application was denied.
Yeah.
Cold fusion would then stay cold for another 60 years. Even though there has never been an accepted theoretical model for how nuclear fusion could occur at room temperature, in the March of 1989, two men would spend an enormous amount of time, prestige, and money in making their names synonymous with failure.
You know they don't actually exist, right?
Yeah, I know they're not real. I was just inspecting the hardware and seeing if it was shaped correct. What do you want me to say? If you've ever taken a science class, there's a good chance you recognize these names, Pons and Fleischmann. And that's because in 1989, the two electrochemists pictured here announced to the world that they had generated excess heat and energy from an electrolysis palladium heavy water experiment, that they had achieved cold fusion. And not with some fancy reactor at the temperature of a sun that costs $1 billion. No, simply with what you see them holding right there. The power of the sun in the palm of their hand. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Fleischmann and Stanley Pons made international headlines in 1989 with this device, a reimagining of the original electrolysis apparatus proposed 60 years prior. It too used a power source, heavy water, and palladium electrodes. During experiments, the duo would run this apparatus for weeks at a time, using a calorimeter to measure heat and replacing the deuterium fuel every so often. Suddenly, and without apparent explanation, the heat coming from the device would almost double. This was unexplainable, Pons and Fleischmann would claim, if nuclear processes weren't involved. The duo also publicly claimed that they measured tritium in the water and neutrons leaking from the device, similarly pointing towards nuclear reactions. If these claims were true, it is undeniable that these two men would have instantly changed the entire world. Free, unlimited energy for everyone, forever, and in a device that could fit into basically anything, this could plausibly, in fact easily, bring about an alternate history, like you see in Atomic Heart. A similar thing happened with miniaturized hot fusion in the Fallout universe. However, the problem is, science doesn't take anything at face value.
Nope.
Not without proof. That's how it's constructed. And for Pons and Fleischmann, the presentation of their proof was the problem. Just
Robot
don't pay
mommies.
attention. Just don't pay attention to it. You don't have to answer. Just The instant Pons and Fleischmann made their announcement in March 1989, the whole scientific community was skeptical. Remember, there was no theoretical basis for any of this to work, and so any world-changing technology had to have substantial experimental replication behind it. Problem was, Pons and Fleischmann didn't initially publish how they actually did their experiment, and when they did, other scientists found that the reported excess heat was 1 degree Celsius, not 20, and this could be explained by experimental error alone. And when physicists started digging into Pons and Fleischmann's data, they found that those neutrons that indicated nuclear processes and fusion, well, that was just a wrong measurement. There were no neutrons. In the weeks after their announcement, almost every single scientist looking into this failed to replicate Pons and Fleischmann's initial experiment. And it should tell you just how wrong these two men turned out to be when just a month after their announcement, even the mainstream media declared cold fusion dead. These two men would have changed the world, and it would have been amazing, yes. But as legendary physicist Richard Feynman once said, and every scientist should remember,
if it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And that simple statement is the key to science. It doesn't make a difference how beautiful your guess is. It doesn't make a difference how smart you are, who made the guess, or what his name is. If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong.
Pons and Fleischmann never officially retracted their claims and instead moved their research efforts overseas after they were dismissed in the United States. Today, cold fusion is a term synonymous with scientific pipe dreams, hyped up failures, and pseudoscience. Look, I don't blame the men for wanting to almost delusionally change the world. Who wouldn't? The problem is, science doesn't care about what you want to be true.
Yeah,
only
what is true. Yeah.
That's why you have to play something like a cool video game to experience an alternate version of the way the world works. Until next time. Until next time. Arya?
Did you block their number?
Yes, I blocked their numbers. I love you and only you. You know that forever.
Okay, now exiting the facility.
Thank you so much to the very nerdy staff at the facility for their direct and substantial support in the creation of this here video.
You really didn't. Well, okay. Well, it was tangential. I enjoyed it for what it was. Thank you, sir. Tease. Okay. Looking at some of the stuff available on Game Pass. Alright, I need to go to the bathroom. Smoke a cigarette. I'll be right back. I gotta stretch my legs too. We've been on for about an hour and almost 2 hours actually. Actually, well, yeah. So, might as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut this one here since we're done with the story time portion of the show. Find me on YouTube at American Gnome Productions. I've got tons of videos there, and that's where most of my streams end up going anyway. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.